Good morning, traders. Chris Buss here with Traders Profit Compass. What I wanted to do today is give you a flash update on the cannabis sector. The purpose of this video is not to do a detailed technical analysis of each of the particular stocks. I will do that over time, but just to let you know, there was some the legislative agenda was posted for next week, and there is a bill coming before the House for the legalization of cannabis. That hit the tape late in the day yesterday, and a lot of the stocks were jumping heading into that. Of course, you know, everybody knows there's no secrets, and a lot of after hours jumps as well. And I wanted to make you aware of it because it hasn't been a focus of our work. It's not a focus of my work. Obviously, I have charts on these things. I will do some work on it, but I wanted to bring it to your attention. Number one, there may be a trade to make today, and number two, we may be at an inflection point where you would want to throw some money at the sector, given it's down 90 to 95% from where it was a couple years ago, as something of a scatter your bets and just forget about it for literally years and then see what happens. So let's take a look at some of these, and I'll just point out some of the technical features and just show you what's happening in the charts. So here's Aurora Cannabis, ACB. Got a downtrend line, divergent low. Here's the bullish divergence up here. Back testing the 50 from below. I'm sure it'll open above today. And then you've got at 475, you've got a void in the charts that goes up to 550, and then you've got the 200 coming down at 625. So trend line breakout, trying to recapture the 50, got some resistance overhead at 475, then moving into a decent sized void. Here's Canopy Growth. You can see here, I mean, this is just since June of last year, going from 26 to 575. Now it's 8. Breaking out of the downtrend line, recapturing the 50. Overhead resistance at 975. Then you've got a big gap, a void in the charts. You've got a band of resistance overhead, the 200, and then you've got a huge void up here going from 15 to 22. Now, let me just go over kind of the options that I see. If you were going to say, okay, you take your trading account or your investment account, however you look at it at your end, and you say, okay, these bigger names, they're real companies. There'll probably be consolidation along the way. They're probably not going out of business. The cannabis business in all its various shapes and sizes is projected to grow phenomenally over the next 10 years. Decide what you want to do with the category. So for instance, you got Canopy Growth here. It's $8. The low is $5.75. If you put some money in that and say, I'm going to either set a stop at $5.50, so you got $3 a risk, $2.50 a risk, and say, as long as it doesn't go below that, I'll just stay long, and it might base here. It may go up, form another, just start climbing out of the hole over a period of months or even years or even, forever, as far as we know. And then that'll be, your chance to make a stake near the lows with money that you're not needing right away, that you want to park in the space. And if you were going to take that approach and you weren't an expert in the field, what I mean by that is, going off and doing a ton of due diligence on all these, all the little companies out there that may turn out to be, phenomenal opportunities. I'm not willing to do that. I'm not qualified to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm a technical trader. But if you are the person that wants to do fundamental analysis and you know particular names, or you want to go research those particular names, go ahead and do that. Maybe you have already. I don't know. But if you were going to throw a certain amount of money at this sector, say 5% of whatever, 5% of your trading assets or investable income, or 3% or 1%, whatever the number is, I would do it soon, because you can make that decision here. Last week would have been better, but you can make that decision here. Don't wait until it reaches the 200 to make that decision. So, and I would spread your risk across a number of companies. Don't put it all on Canopy or TLRY or Aurora. If you're going to take 5%, put 1% in 5 companies or whatever, and just diversify your risk. It's either that, or, I'm going to trade the cannabis sector the way I would any other sector. I don't view it as an investment. It's just going to be a trade for me. That's fine. So, as we just discussed, and we discussed for any stocks that we go over, we'll just take our technical cues. For instance, recapture the 50, trend line breakout, that's bullish. If we get up here at 975, you'll be setting an alarm at that level and trading for a move to $12 at the top of the void and for a touch of the 200. So that's an example of, hey, I'm just going to trade this ticker like any other ticker. Here's CRON, very much the same kind of a look, breaking out of a long downtrend. You've got resistance here at 425, and then you've got a big void from 425 to 525. Here's MJ. This is the Canadian producer ETF. I don't have it here, but you've got some resistance coming in right here at 11 with a relative void just above, and then you've got the declining 200 up above. MSOS is the multi-state operator. The one thing I like about this is there are a lot of companies operating multi-state that aren't listed on exchanges that are part of this ETF. They're doing very, very well, but they're not public yet. So these guys, this is the doorway into those companies. And so if you take this legalization legislation, that's obviously for our country, Canada, it's already legal. What does that have to do with TLRY? What does that have to do with, the MJ ETF, which is all Canada producers? those guys don't have licenses to import that stuff into the States. So it's going to, be focused on a lot of domestic stuff, I would imagine. Now there's going to be bleed over, and you're going to see spikes and TLRY in that today. But this would be a doorway into U.S. multi-state operators that are not yet public. Speaking of TLRY, coming up on a place where there's a big void in the charts here at 750 all the way up to 10. 750 to 10, that's almost 50%, at least 30%. So, I mean, that's a good trade in and of itself. And then if and when it can recapture the 200, then you can get on a longer term view once that 200 is taken out. And it may take a long time to get up there and get rejected and build levels just like on any other chart. I thought this was one that I wanted to present to you this morning. TLRY weekly, and remember TLRY was at one point I think about $300, and then it came like way down. But back in 2020, I don't even remember this, but there was a trend line breakout here that you can see, and then it just exploded and went from $5 to $70 in just a couple months. So I'm not predicting that here, but you can see we've got a low here and a low here at the exact same level, double bottom over the course of 16 months. And you've got RSI turning up, and you've got PPO trying to put in a bull cross, and you've got a technical breakout right here above the trend line. Things could happen quickly if momentum sparks from these very, very low levels. And what you can do, I should have done it, but you can just put on your Fibonacci retracement tool, not from here, but from here, I would say, and put it down there, and you'll see that even a 50% retracement, kickback rally, bear market rally, will take this from 5, up here to 1750 or even 20, and that's a good trade in itself. Even if it ultimately fails and rolls over, bear market rally, it never gets going. That's a good tactical trade. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Obviously, there's a lot more names in the space. I just wanted to put a bug in your ear about the sector if you missed that news yesterday. And if you've got some time today or over the weekend to kind of dig into it, and if it's something that might interest you, spend some time with it. Think about, do you want to tactically trade it? Do you want to be an investor? How you want to approach it? But there is going to be that catalyst. And I will just say, I think it was right here where there was a lot of buzz about similar legislation. Maybe it was a Safe Banking Act or something like that that ultimately, didn't pass. And then they sold the news, buy the rumor, sell the news, and that was the catalyst for the next leg down. So don't view any of this or construe anything about what I'm saying as a slam dunk. It's a very speculative sector, and you're trying to bottom pick something here as a long-term investor, or you're just tactically trading it. So don't get carried away with a bunch of money would be my recommendation. Watch your risk, make sure it's under control, and then we'll see if the category has some legs to get going, or it languishes for a while. So let's wrap it up there. I hope you liked the video. Hope you got something out of it. Give you a heads up on a sector that may be emerging. So hit the subscribe button and the like button. Leave me a comment of any other sectors you'd like me to go over. I'd be happy to do that for you. So let's wrap it up there. This has been Chris Buss with Traders Profit Compass. Talk to you next time.